Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how to teach your conure to step up. Now, of course, all the techniques in this video will apply to other birds, but I've had conure stepping up specifically requested because they can be a bit tricky and they are also notoriously nippy, as Olive is proclaiming as well. So we just need to have a few more precautions, a few other tricks up our sleeves that we can use to try and train them to step up, and I'm going to tell you about that now. So before you can even think about stepping up, you need to make sure that you have started to bond with your conure. So you want to make sure that they are happily taking treats from you by the hand, whether that's through the bars, or if they're willing to come out a little bit and take a treat from your hand. Otherwise, you're not going to get very far with the step up process. Now, if you're not bonded to your conure yet, David actually has a video on this. So I'm going to leave a card now and a link in the description so that you can learn a little bit more about how you can do that. One of the first things you need to consider before you start stepping up is to set yourself up for success by being consistent. Now, when I ask my birds to step up, I have a nice flat hand like this. Some people use one finger, that's fine. You just need to pick one and stick with it, and always have a nice firm hand as well. You don't want to be kind of having a limp wrist or anything, because birds want to step onto something really solid and secure. As well as this, we need to remember that birds are really sensitive to changes. So if you're already trying to work on that really fragile bond with your bird and you decide to paint your nails a different colour, you start wearing rings, you have a watch on, you may even have a hairband on your wrist like I have, that could really throw your bird off, and it may make them not want to step up onto you when you may have been making progress previously. Now, as well as this, you want to make sure that you actually have some motivation with your bird. Now, I'm not talking about depriving them of food or anything like that. I'm talking about making sure that you are doing your training at the right time of day, and also that they're on a really great diet as well, because if you're feeding your birds loads of seed, or you're feeding them a commercial pellet that's full of kind of filler ingredients like corn or wheat and soy, and then you try and drain them, that treat value is going to be very low because they're already getting kind of treat foods in their normal diet. So if you don't know what to feed your bird or how to convert your bird onto a healthier diet, I do have a parrot diet guide, and I'm going to leave a card for it now and a link in the description. Leading on from this as well, you may think that your bird loves sunflower seeds, but unless you've done a treat hierarchy test, you won't know exactly what your bird's favourite treat is. Now, David has a whole video on how to do a treat hierarchy test with your bird, so make sure you check that out after this video. Link's going to be down in the description. But you want to essentially lay out some treats and see what your bird goes for first, and do this a few times for consistency. Now, we actually discovered that our birds preferred a different treat to the one we thought, so we thought that sunflower seeds were the top tier treat for our birds. Turns out it was actually hemp seed, and we found that out by doing a treat hierarchy test. That's for our conures, and obviously this is a conure video, but just for reference, our cockatiels love millet. That is their top tier treat. So every bird is going to be different. You can try lots of different things, and then you can work out what that top tier treat is, and you can reserve that for really important training such as the step up. Now, something I really wanted to mention because it's so important, it's something that most people forget, is that you want to reinforce every single step up, because stepping up is essentially a trick, and a lot of people forget that. And it is also permission based as well, so you're asking your bird, would you like to step up? And if yes, brilliant, they can have a treat for doing the correct behaviour. If no, maybe ask yourself why. Is it because something's changed in the room? Have you got that nail polish on? Are you wearing a watch today they don't like? So bear that in mind, but always reinforce behaviours you want to see more of. Now, another thing to consider as well is you may not get the full step up in your very first training session. Your bird may want to just put one foot onto your hand, they may step up and then get straight back off. That's totally fine. If you get that one foot, that's brilliant. You can end on that really positive note. If they step up straight away, pop them back down again, give them a treat as well, because quite often birds want to get away, and you can use that to your advantage as a part of your reinforcement. So when your bird is stepping up, if you're getting one foot, that's fine. End it on a really high, because that's so important with training, is ending your sessions on a positive. If you're getting really frustrated with your bird, they aren't understanding what you're doing, it's not going to be a very good training session, and you're not going to make much progress. But if you maybe get 1 or 2 repetitions where they'll place just one foot on you, that is brilliant, and you can stop the session there and try again another day. And as I said, if they do want to step up onto you, amazing, give them loads of praise, give them a really big jackpot, end the session there, and they're going to remember that I got all that treat from stepping up onto my favourite human's hand. So when you're coming in with your step up, you want a nice consistent hand, and you also want to hold your treat above your hand, so your bird is looking at the treat and not at your hand, because you don't want them to come into your hand beak first, because then you might get bitten. They're coming up, they want to get that treat up there, they're looking up there, and they're moving this way. So let's do it with Olive. Step up. Good girl. Now obviously she is step up trained, so she knows what she's doing, but you want that treat up here, up in the air, so they're leaning upwards instead of looking at your hand. Now, another important skill that you can teach your bird is target training. You can use a simple stick like this to target your bird around, and you can actually target them onto your hand. So if I place my hand here, and then Olive targets, good girl, and then she can have one of her favourite treats. You can use that target stick to your advantage. You can use it for loads of different behaviours, but don't forget that you can use it for a step up as well. So get your bird's target onto your hand, they're focused on the target and not on biting your hand. You can also use your sleeved hand. I'm just wearing a hoodie here, and you can ask the bird to step up onto your sleeved hand. But you want to make sure that the material on your sleeve isn't something they can get their nails caught into, because then you're going to come into more problems. So will you step up? Good girl. And then it does protect your arm from any mischievous beaks who are looking for something to nibble on. And we did this with Olive a lot when we first got her, but obviously you can see from the other clips that she's very happy stepping up onto my hand normally now. Something else we did with Olive a lot, because she was very bitey when she first came to us and we rescued her, is we actually put a perch in our sleeve. So we're protecting our hands from any mischievous beaks, but also she's familiar with stepping up onto perches. So if I say step up, she'll come straight on there, and then if she does want to use her beak, she can do that on the perch and not on our skin, because that hurts quite a lot, doesn't it? Wave! Good girl. Another thing you can try is to try and make your hand, or your sleeved hand, an extension of the perch. Now, Olive's never done this unsleeved before, so I think she'd probably bite me purely out of curiosity. So I'm going to do it with a sleeved hand, and I'm just going to bring her over here first so I can get in position. I'm going to get to one side of this perch. See, she's giving me a little nibble there, but then she'll come straight on. And that's just a way of using that perch, if your bird is really confident down there, to your advantage. If they don't want to step forward, they could step to the side, and then she can take herself back on there as well. So that brings me to the end of the video. I hope you found it useful learning how to teach your bird to step up. If you have any questions or anything like that, please leave them down in the comments, as I'd love to chat to you. But from me and baby Olive, thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you later.